It starts at the table, not the courtroom. The turkey is perfect, the laughter is polite, and under the plates there's a map of landmines. If you've felt the heat of family pressure in relationships, you know how fast a holiday can turn into a test. The moment someone says, "So when are you two going to finally?" your heartbeat answers before your mouth does. Here's the truth many couples learn the hard way. Families can love you deeply and still apply pressure that squeezes the air out of your connection. The goal is not to pick a side. The goal is to protect the relationship while honoring the people who helped raise you. Before we go further, welcome to Whispered Hearts, English, where we hold space for honest conversations about love that lasts. If you're here, you want practical tools that feel human, not cold. You want language you can say out loud in a living room, not just ideas you admire online. There's a quiet mindset that changes everything. Think of your relationship as a house you both own, with two keys that must turn at once. When the door opens, guests are welcome, but they are not architects. The united front begins with the belief that your commitment is the primary team you play for. This shift is subtle and powerful. It doesn't reject family. It organizes the flow of influence. It means decisions are made together and then presented together. Not one person speaks for both, and not one person is left to carry the fallout alone. Have you noticed how conflict grows when one partner feels alone in front of someone else's opinion? When you appear divided, outside voices grow louder. When you stand shoulder to shoulder, those voices soften. What would change if the next big decision left your mouth as one message, spoken in your shared tone? But there's something even quieter holding love together. It is the private promise you make about how you will speak of each other when family is listening. Never throw each other under the bus to win a quick laugh or a scrap of approval. That approval is expensive, and the cost shows up in your partner's eyes later. Picture a calm Sunday kitchen, coffee steam curling in the air. You agree on 3 sentences you will both use when hot topics arise. We're thinking about that together. Thanks for caring. We'll keep you posted. We love you, and we've got this. Small lines like these become anchors when a conversation starts drifting. Now for a twist that many don't expect, and it's the curiosity that catches people off guard. The most stubborn tension is often not in your in-laws' living room. It lives in the gap between the story you tell your family and the story you tell each other. What would happen if both stories became one? When your private truth matches your public stance, pressure loses its favorite hiding place. You stop managing 2 realities and start protecting one shared reality. That integrity reduces the temptation to promise your family one thing and ask your partner for another. Have you ever felt that split and sensed how heavy it becomes? There's a reason this alignment matters beyond comfort. Therapists report that couples who present a consistent message experience fewer blow-ups after family events. It is easier to decompress on the drive home when no one feels betrayed by what was said at the table. The relief you feel in the car is proof you chose your house over the crowd. But there's another layer, and it often decides whether peace lasts longer than a weekend. Clear boundaries are not walls. They are guardrails that prevent emotional collisions. A boundary says, here's how you can be close to us without damaging what holds us together. It protects trust while keeping the doorway open. Start by clarifying your internal boundary before you announce any external one. What matters most to you both right now? Timing, privacy, money, parenting, or health? Say it plainly together. Then choose 1 or 2 simple requests you will make. Please call before dropping by carries more power than a long lecture that no one will remember. Have you practiced those sentences out loud, the way you would practice a difficult song? Pressure moments are not the time to ad-lib. What would it look like to rehearse in your living room, then take a walk around the block and say them again? Your body will thank you when the real moment arrives. There will be times when someone pushes past the guardrail. Maybe a parent opens a door you asked to keep closed, or a cousin turns a joke into a jab. When that happens, repair matters more than the original move. Calm the room with a steady voice and return to your scripted lines. Consistency teaches faster than anger. If a conversation gets hot, use a graceful exit. We're going to take a breather and pick this up later. Preserves dignity for everyone. A short pause beats a long scar. Later, send a kind text that restates your boundary and your love. We value your support. Please remember we decide together. Here's where many couples see the first real breakthrough, and it can feel surprisingly tender. Build a ritual of reconnection after any high-pressure family event. Maybe it's a slow drive with the windows down, or tea on the porch with your phones face down. Ask each other the same 3 questions. What felt good? What stung? What would help next time? This is where whispered hearts. English wants you to exhale. Belonging is not a prize you earn by perfect compliance. It is something you build, and you're allowed to build it slowly. If you felt alone in a living room today, you do not have to feel alone in your bedroom tonight. There's a practical tool couples use that keeps hope steady, the go-to phrase under stress. It might sound like, "Same team, even now." Say it lightly before you walk into a house where criticism sometimes hides inside concern. The phrase cues your nervous system to cooperate rather than compete. Funerals, weddings, new babies, moving days. These are pressure cookers for even the gentlest families. Stress multiplies sensitivity. Research shows that under strain, people lean on familiar patterns, even if those patterns create friction. Have you seen old family roles rise up just when you thought you'd outgrown them? Try a pre-commitment. Pick a signal you can give each other across a crowded room. A hand over your heart. A subtle nod. A glance that means, "I see you." These gestures communicate solidarity when words would make it worse. They let love speak softly without embarrassing anyone. Let's talk honestly about dealing with in-laws. Sometimes the issue is not intention, it's proximity. When someone is always nearby, small frictions add up until they feel like a single, unfixable problem. The repair often starts with rhythm, not confrontation. Set visiting times that fit your actual life, not just your old habits. On the days when a surprise visit is unavoidable, create a 5-minute arrival ritual. Welcome warmly, then pivot to your plan for the hour. We're thrilled to see you. We're cooking right now, and we'd love to catch up while we stir. You have invited closeness without handing over the steering wheel. Have you noticed how clear plans reduce the chance of side commentary and wandering advice? Idle time invites meddling. Structured time invites stories. What small structure would make your next visit feel more like connection and less like inspection? Money choices, parenting styles, career shifts, these sit high on the list of marriage and family issues that spark commentary. Protect your privacy without sounding defensive. We appreciate your love for our kids. We're trying something new this month, and we'll share more when it feels settled. Says yes to care and no to control. When words fail, Let gestures carry kindness without inviting negotiation. Cook a favorite dish, share a photo, send a thoughtful note. Harmony with in-laws grows not only from what you refuse to do, but from the warmth you still choose to offer. The mix of firmness and generosity is what earns long-term trust. Now for the moment that many couples dread and then feel proud to survive. A comment lands hard, the room goes quiet, and your face gets hot. You take a breath, and your partner places a palm gently on your back. "We're on the same page," they say. "Let's circle back to that later." The car ride home is a sanctuary again. The actual repair happens later, when the door clicks shut and the house is finally yours. You sit on the edge of the bed and speak to the hurt, not the headline. When that joke landed, I felt exposed. "Next time, please jump in earlier." Your partner nods. "I missed the cue. Next time, I will step in right away." Safety returns because accountability arrived first. Have you built a simple plan for next time, or do you keep hoping it will just be better? Hope is a beautiful feeling, but plans keep love from slipping on the same stone twice. What plan could you draft tonight on a sticky note and keep near the front door? Season can also change how pressure feels. In winter, the air is crisp, and people stay inside longer, which can amplify commentary and old stories. In summer, a warm evening walk can dissolve tension that a living room would have trapped. Use the season to your advantage. Suggest a stroll, a backyard chat, or a quick errand together. Spring has its own scent, the clean smell after a soft rain that reminds you growth is rarely loud. Fall carries the rustle of leaves and the sense of new beginnings, even as days shorten. Let these cues remind you that families shift too. Patterns can change. Expectations soften when love keeps showing up with clarity. There's also the invisible pressure of generational conflict in love. One generation sees sacrifice as loyalty. Another sees boundaries as maturity. Both want respect. Translate instead of attack. We know this is different from how you did it. We're learning from you, and we're also trying a path that fits us. You will not always get an immediate yes. Sometimes the answer you receive is a sigh, a slow nod, or silence. That's still movement. Give it time. People often resist the first draft of a new boundary and accept the second or third, especially when they see that your kindness stayed put. If you need a simple practice to lower relationship stress from family, try a short weekly check-in. 15 minutes on a quiet weeknight, snacks on the coffee table, phones on silent. Share one boundary that worked, one that needs help, and one place you want to offer more warmth. Small course corrections prevent large detours. Some couples find it helpful to invite a neutral voice when patterns feel stuck. That might be a counselor, a faith leader, or a wise friend who respects both of you. The goal is clarity and compassion, not a scoreboard. Outside perspective can melt a stalemate that two good hearts could not unfreeze alone. Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to walk into a gathering already aligned, rather than hoping to improvise? Imagine the drive there. The highway hum is steady, your hands are relaxed on the wheel, and your partner is finishing a story you started. The future is not a threat, it's a plan. There is power in one small practice at the end of any visit. Before you unlock the door at home, pause for 10 seconds. Name one thing your family did that you appreciated, and one thing you did well as a team. Gratitude and competence are a potent pair. They train your nervous system to expect progress. In time, relatives begin repeating the new phrases they hear from you, We trust you to. Let us know what works. We're proud of how you're handling things. That is the sound of culture changing at a kitchen table. The best part is that you didn't win a war. You negotiated a peace. Soon, you will notice something even more precious. Your home feels lighter. Decisions take less time. You spend more energy on shared adventures and less on post-event recovery. You hear laughter in rooms where defensiveness used to echo. And then one afternoon, as the summer cicadas sing and a neighbor waves from the sidewalk, you'll catch a quiet smile on your partner's face. It is the look of someone who feels chosen, not just defended. You have not cut anyone out. You have invited your whole life into a better order. Before we close, you might be carrying a story we haven't named. Perhaps your family expects more involvement because they fear being forgotten. Perhaps they push because worry is their love language. Translate it, respond with clarity, and keep choosing warmth where you can. Your steadiness will teach them how to love this new shape of you. If today's conversation opened something for you, remember why you came. You want a relationship that can breathe, even when the room is crowded. You want boundaries that are strong enough to feel safe and generous enough to feel kind. That is not a fantasy. It is a practice. As you practice, talk with us in the comments. How have you handled family pressure in your relationship? What single sentence would make your next gathering easier? Your experience might be the bridge someone else needs. When you need a place to steady your heart, come back to Whispered Hearts. English. You are part of a community that believes love grows through honest conversations and small, repeatable actions. Take the next step together, even if it is small. And when you step into that next holiday dinner, remember the house you are building. 2 keys, 1 lock, 1 shared message. No matter how loud the room becomes, you belong to each other first. That is how you outlast family pressure in relationships.